The Seattle Mariners select Evan White.
Just drafted Evan White, University of Kentucky first baseman. It's a good day for the Seattle Mariners. There's the fancy Mariner pen. Okay. Congratulations. Thank you. Handshake photo. So, outstanding.
Here's the windup and the pitch on the way. Swung on. Ground ball chopper left side. Charging at third. Barehanded the ball. Bregman's got it. Wide throw to first. And Evan White is safe at first base and has his first Major League base hit. An infield base hit tonight from Minute Maid Park here in Houston. Evan White safe at first. Chops one along the third base line. Bregman coming in.
Oh boy, he got that one. Look at this. Home run, Evan White is first in the major leagues. And a double play right here. There's a break. Nice job by Evan White.
Pretty good baseball without him doing much. Soft flick. Evan White, a lot of ground to cover. Evan White, Evan White.
Seager a blow. They put Nola at third.
Ooh, look out. Did he make the catch? He did.
Yeah.
Nice job. Center field backing up and looking at it. Leave the yard.
White lifts this deep out to right field. Evan White, there's another. Good command. Evan White smothers this. Races to the back.
In the air to deep left field. That ball is back, and it is up to the third basket of the Western Metal Supply Company.
Welcome back, Fan Noise faithful, to episode 3 of Fan Favorites, presented to you by Mike McGee and Nate Schweers, presented by FanNoiseSports. Before we start, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bar on YouTube. We're out on all platforms: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Pinterest, all the above. This is our third guest coming on the show. Big guest here. Nate, how are we feeling tonight?
Feeling good. Excited. It's probably the biggest interview that we've done as a duo here. It's been a crazy week, so excited to sit back, talk a little baseball. Hopefully everybody enjoys it.
Yeah. So without further ado, here is our special guest, Evan White, from Columbus, Ohio. Went to Gahanna Lincoln High School. Played for the Lions over there in Gahanna. Was a standout in high school, obviously. Then he chose to play baseball at the University of Kentucky. And they did something there that's never been done before, win a regional championship at home. I'm sure Evan will touch on that later on. But he was also a standout there. And then Evan went on to become a first-round draft pick, 17 overall pick to the Seattle Mariners in 2017, and made his MLB debut last year, July 24th, in the crazy COVID 2020 season. Evan also won a Gold Glove in his rookie season. Evan, it's a pleasure to have you, man.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
So, Nate, you want to break the ice a little bit?
Yeah, no, I'll break the ice. I'll be honest with you, because we're talking about 2017 a little bit, the regional team. What you might not know, you see the Oakland jersey behind me. Mike and I came down and played Kentucky in 2018. And I'll be honest with you, we thought you were still on the team. The scouting report said Nate's going to strike this guy out with a changeup. So we had your number. You just weren't there. You were playing minor league ball, but we had your number if you'd have been there.
Exactly. I was a little nervous about it, so I had to get out of there a year early. So I'm glad it worked out for both of us.
Oh, worked out for you too. Exactly. It worked out for you getting out of there.
Absolutely. Very, very thankful for that.
Yeah. Let's stick on that a little bit, Nate. Evan, old stadium to new stadium, do you wish you could have played at the new stadium at Kentucky?
So the new stadium looks awesome. Looks like it's very nicely done. They put a lot of time, money, and effort into it. It looks great. But I got a lot of love for Cliff Hagan Stadium, and made a lot of memories there and everything. And the one downside I have about the new stadium is its turf. And I feel like baseball should always be played on grass. I get different areas of the country and stuff like that. A lot of rain and stuff like that. But I got love for Cliff Hagan for sure. Yeah,
when we played there, it was pouring rain the whole weekend. And you guys have, I think, 2 of the 12 made. What were those things, Nate? The sweepers?
They were like, you guys, your grounds crew was on tractors, like driving through the outfield with like squeegees on the end of it. It was like a big sponge that they were going through the outfield. It poured all day long.
We got all 3 in.
8 o'clock, here we go. We're ready to roll, boys. Ready to roll. Outfield's fine. We're like, what? At Oakland, if it rained like that, we would have been done for the season.
Yeah,
exactly. Take a couple weekends out.
So let's start at the beginning, Evan. When did your love for baseball start, and kind of what drove you to continue the sport of baseball?
Yeah, I think really at a young age, my entire family always played baseball, and my parents, my brother, sister, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, and everything. It was really kind of just a family affair, and really enjoyed watching Cincinnati Reds games growing up with my grandpa and my dad and stuff like that, and really started from there. And, every Father's Day for a while there, we would go to the baseball diamond with pretty much everybody in the family. So that's really what it started, and family is what still motivates me. So it's been really cool to see how that's kind of progressed throughout the year and be able to live my dream and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And, Evan, we heard, through the grapevine that you've got a really, really good relationship with your dad. So you bring up Father's Day, going out to the ball diamond. What did those days in June mean to you, getting out to go play with your dad? It sounds like you built a relationship that, is still super strong to this day.
Absolutely. I mean, it's something we talk every single day. Both my parents, very fortunate to be blessed with, two amazing parents and great grandparents as well. So, but yeah, it definitely meant a lot. It's something you kind of take for granted at the time. It's like, this is cool and everything, but you look back and stuff and realize how awesome it is. Especially my wife and I, we live in Arizona now, so we're not too close to Columbus, and obviously in season and stuff like that with COVID, we couldn't really see family. So definitely, you take it for granted a little bit, but it's kind of cool as you get older, you appreciate things a little more. So,
hearing from Coach Hall, your dad's a pretty money BP thrower, is he not?
It depends, man. If he wants to be, he wants to strike you out though. He wants to carve you up a little bit. So
he throws gas.
It depends. He's getting a little older now. He's getting a little more weight on him. He got a little more mass to produce the gas, I think. So he can throw hard, but he likes cutting it, sinking it, doing a little bit of everything. So it's a good challenge.
Is it home run derby stuff? Is it good enough for a home run derby if you're there someday?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not sure if you'd want to do that. That's a lot of pressure on him.
That is a ton of pressure.
I can't imagine.
Oh, yeah. When he gets it going, he'll throw a little cutter that starts like middle end, and it'll kind of cut right into your barrel. So it depends on the day.
So kind of climbing up the ladder here, you're at Gahanna. When did the offers start coming in, and kind of what did you narrow that situation down to? Because correct me if I'm wrong, but you were committed to Kent State, correct?
Correct. Yeah. So I honestly, I can't remember exactly when everything started. I want to say kind of the late freshman year, maybe into sophomore year and stuff like that. And got an offer from Kent State and went up there and visited. And that was, the year after they went to the College World Series. And they were awesome. They were fun to watch. Had a lot of respect for Coach Strickland, still do to this day. He did a heck of a job up there, and kind of just really enjoyed it and really fell in love with the program. And unfortunately, my junior year, I think, is when he left for Georgia, and kind of opened things back up because he was really the main reason why I wanted to go there. And I always had a lot of love for Kentucky. Really wanted to go there, and fortunately, it worked out where they came to see some other guys play a couple of times. Came to see me once or twice, and I ended up pulling an offer and ended up pulling the trigger that same night because it was a dream school I already visited. But I remember I think we were away for a travel ball tournament. It was just me and my mom, and I talked to her about it, obviously, after getting the offer, and called my dad. And I think they probably wish I would have, thought about it a little longer, but, I'd given a lot of thought already prior to receiving the offer, and called Coach Bohannon back and pulled the trigger, and best decision I ever made. So besides marrying my wife, if she hears this,
so was there any – did you ever – so Kentucky was your dream school, correct?
Yeah, so I mean, growing up, I remember obviously watching Coastal Carolina. I thought that was awesome. Being in Ohio, we didn't do too much traveling growing up, and being on the beach, I thought would be really cool. So, really wanted to go to Coastal Carolina, Kentucky. I hate saying this now because Kentucky Wildcat, but I wanted to go to Louisville. I was one of the schools as well, and Kent State was up there, and Wright State, Coach Lovelady. Those guys, I really enjoyed him and visiting down there and everything he did for that program. So it was kind of those couple. And obviously you got dream schools like that Carolina. I hope Kyle Seeger never hears me say that, but I had a lot of respect and I really enjoyed watching Carolina play growing up. So there's a couple of those.
That leads me into it, Evan. You speak about Carolina. That's actually who you guys opened with in that. So you get to Kentucky. You have your freshman, sophomore year, but that junior year is when you guys did something really special, and you actually started out with North Carolina. Didn't start out too hot. Looking back at the schedule that year, it looks like it started a little slow out of the gate, but you guys really hit your stride when you guys got into SEC play. Just talk about that season, some of the guys around the team, and what made that year so special.
Just like you said right there, it was a special year, and I think it really started. I mean, we were fortunate in my class as freshmen. We got to play a good bit. I think gaining that experience, and we didn't have a ton of success. I think we're about 500 in the SEC play, or I don't remember the exact numbers, but we were solid, but we weren't great by any means. And just kind of gaining that experience and building that confidence and building those relationships on and off the field was huge for that 2017 season. And we had a great senior class that year in 17 that were there with us and built those relationships and stuff like that. We had a change in coaching staff, and I think they were really good for the energy of some guys and kind of giving them a shot of energy and push guys in the right direction. And some guys had career years. It was just really fun to be a part of. But like you said, though, we start off 0-4 on the year and get swept by North Carolina. All those games were really close, but we weren't able to pull one out. And then we go to Liberty, and I don't remember the score of that one. I remember it didn't feel like it was a super close one. But we ended up going back home, and I can't remember how many games we played before UC Santa Barbara, and they were a top 25 team. They came into town, and we swept them at home, and that really kind of propelled us in the right direction.
Was there a moment at Kentucky where you became a different player, like on another level, or was it just gradual success?
I'd say it was gradual success, but I think Rick Eckstein, who was there my first 2 years, really kind of helped me start understanding the game better and start understanding my body better and being able to slow the game down and let it come to me. And I think it really kind of came together my junior year. It was the best year of baseball I ever played. Offensively, defensively, just the consistency on both sides. And it was something different, obviously, because the coaching changed. You didn't have Eckstein, who was kind of my comfort blanket in the past, where it's like, if something's going wrong, I go to him right away. And, I still have a good relationship with Rick, and he's unbelievable, and very thankful to have met him along the way. But it's just something I kind of had to figure out and kind of mature mentally as well. And, I was able to kind of put some things together my junior year. But I don't know if that, directly answers your question.
No, it does.
I think it's kind of just the process of it.
I want to talk – you probably get the question from a lot of people back home, whether they knew you a little bit or knew you a lot, but you probably get the question, who's the toughest guy you face in the bigs? But I want to know, is there any secret caliber guys that you saw in college that you were like, damn, I just can't figure this guy out?
Brady Singer. And to this day, I do not hit well off Brady Singer. Faced him in Double-A a bunch of times. And he's just good, man. He's quick to the plate. His fastball moves a bunch. It's hard, and he throws a slider off of it as well. I know he made his debut with the Royals this year. I haven't faced him in the bigs yet. But, he does a good job. He attacks you. And you just got a lot of respect for him. And that whole Florida staff, when I was there in college, you got him, Alex Faedo, Coar, who's with the Royals as well. He's unbelievable. Then you also have Puck and Logan Shore and guys like that. And Sean Anderson, a lot of guys that have been in the big leagues now for a little while, and a lot of guys that had a heck of a career, in college.
I got a good AJ Puck story for you, Evan. So AJ Puck he's an Iowa kid, and that's where I'm from. So he played on the same team his senior year, and so scouts are showing up that senior year of high school, getting ready to watch him throw. He's out there, 90-92, big 6'6" lefty, and I always followed him out of the pen, like in all those games we were playing, and to see the stands just clear out the way they would clear out you're in high school, like, alrighty, and then Schweers kids. So it's about time to hit the road, get on to the next one. That's my memory of playing with AJ. But you talk about that. Have you come across a lot of the guys, especially in the minor leagues, that you saw a ton in college, and it felt like you flipped the page and they were right there again in the minor leagues, seeing them day in, day out?
Absolutely. It's funny because you end up becoming friends with these guys. Obviously, you're competitors on the field, but you can talk to them. And me playing first base, I always talk to the guys and stuff like that. You end up having dinner and stuff afterwards. But Buddy Reed was always one of those guys. Played against him. He was at the Padres for a while. Played against him, I believe, in High A and Double A, and obviously played against him for 2 years at Kentucky. So he's always been there. There's definitely a handful of guys. Sorry, my wife's getting definitely there's a handful of guys. It's just cool, man, as you kind of go, even if guys you met in the minor leagues, you end up climbing the ladder with them and stuff like that, and it's been cool to see.
That's awesome. So if you came across anybody at first base who's just like absolutely hilarious?
We don't talk too much over there. I mean, there's guys that joke around a little bit. No one really comes to mind with that, but there's just, some good dudes over there and stuff. And the coolest thing for me was playing against the Angels this year and talking with Pujols, and that's someone I looked up to growing up, being a right-handed hitting first baseman. And he played great defense, and he obviously rakes. So to be able to talk with him and stuff like that was really special for me. And there's just a lot of good guys, a lot of good dudes over there. We're kind of mess around a little bit, but there's not like a great story where guys just crack a joke after joke.
Yeah.
So
I live in Detroit now. I'm a White Sox fan, but I see Miggy all the time, and it's like the dude never stops. But like with that, I talked to your family a little bit. I did a little research on you. The number 19 was very special to you growing up, correct? Because of Joey Votto?
Yeah, Votto, and that's a number my dad wore in high school, I think. So both of us. But like you said, I got a lot of love for Votto and really enjoyed watching him growing up.
So is that going to be a cool moment? Yeah. Is that going to be a cool moment when you guys are playing the Reds and Joey Votto gets to first base, like coming full circle a little bit?
I think so. I got to play against him once in spring training this past year, and I don't think either of us got on first to really talk much, but it's definitely going to be cool. And, one of the announcers that I grew up listening to, I remember he came in to the dugout when we were playing this past year in spring training, and he talked to me a little bit because he knew I was an Ohio guy, and he used to be a Reds guy. And it was a cool moment because I got to call my grandpa after the game and stuff because that's someone we grew up – well, he didn't grow up, but I grew up listening to him and stuff, break down the game. So it was kind of like a full circle moment for sure. But I think it's different, once it's actually in season. So
yeah, no, absolutely. That's cool. You talk about defense a little bit, Evan. Talk about loving Pujols because he was a good defender and a right-handed hitter. I mean, obviously, for those that don't know, and we haven't really gotten all the way here yet, you made your MLB debut this year, which is cool, and you won a Gold Glove. Which is unheard of, a rookie to win a Gold Glove like that at first base. Has defense always been something that you've taken a ton of pride in?
Absolutely. It was something I really enjoyed too, going in the front yard. And we play this little game with my dad and brother, and he calls it a tennis racket game. It's just, I'm not sure, it's kind of a stupid name, but he takes a tennis racket, tennis ball, and he'll just, hit balls at us and, mix in line drives, ground balls and stuff. So you just work on your hand-eye and kind of moving around a little bit. And you go to the ballpark and hit ground balls and just feel them and stuff like that. It's something I've always enjoyed. It's something, I got to do with my dad and family and stuff like that. So I think that's part of the reason why I enjoy it so much. But to this day, I just enjoy getting out there, taking ground balls. And so I take pride in, like you said, because, offense is, it's hard, at any level, especially the big leagues, but something that you can always have is defense and picking up your team in that way. So definitely something I take pride in.
Is it, obviously you got friends on the team and probably all the way up and down the system, but is there a guy that kind of took you under their wing, or is there a guy you're really close with now? Like I see you and Kyle Lewis all the time in the dugout when I'm watching you. Is there a specific group or guy that you guys just click and that you kind of has grown your game?
Yeah, and, there's a couple guys that come to mind when you ask that. Kyle Lewis and Justin Dunn, two of my best friends. We got to play with them in Double A, as well as Donnie Walton. Donnie's an unbelievable player. He knows the game, and we've definitely all seen each other at our highest highs and lowest lows. And so, like I said earlier, building those relationships on and off the field is huge, and it's been great for us to kind of help each other grow as we continue to climb. But one of the veteran guys that really helps me out a lot was Kyle Seager. And I got nothing good things to say about him. I mean, he's awesome. He works his butt off, but he's a funny guy too. He likes to joke around, laugh, have fun, and poke fun at me a little bit. It's fun that we can give it back and forth to one another. So it's a good time, and those guys are awesome.
So you're stepping up to the plate against Justin Verlander. Obviously, I'm not going to ask you where you're nervous because kind of a dumb question, but after that happened, was it kind of like, okay, settle in, or did it take a while to settle in that moment?
I think it was definitely different than I pictured the debut. And it's something like I really wasn't that nervous until I started walking to the box. And I see Maldonado back there. I see Verlander on guys that have just been doing it at a high level for a very long time. And it was like, this is actually happening. But it's like we hear our names called during the anthem, or not the anthem, but the introduction and stuff like that. And you're thinking, okay, it's your debut. It's opening day. You picture this your entire life. And then all of a sudden you look around and there's like 5 ground crew guys clapping in the background because that's the only people that were there. So it definitely wasn't super nervous until, you step into the box. But I think, it's something that I couldn't give you an exact point where I settled in exactly. From a defensive side, I feel like there was never really many nerves. I feel like I settled in pretty comfortably over there pretty quickly. But I think it's always, it's easy to calm yourself once you get that first hit out of the way. Once you get that first, you get a ball in the field, someone throws it to you, you catch it, it's like, okay, it's baseball again, which is a cool thing. And that's something I learned a lot. I'm kind of going to go off on a little different path here, but something I really learned this year was the mental side of the game, being able to kind of control that. And that's something I've been working on the entire off season, working on the mental side of the game. And I think that's going to be the biggest thing for me. And, you don't always have to be super comfortable in the box to be confident and to trust your ability and stuff like that. And that's one of the biggest areas I need to grow going into next year. I think the first year in the bigs really kind of exposed that for me. And I wish I could have learned it, while I was hitting 330. Absolutely. Who wouldn't wish that? But I think it was a blessing in disguise.
So Nate, before I'm going to ask one more question, and you can chime in here. But so obviously no fans in the stands, crazy year. Actually, it was a sprint, they called it. Did the guys talk about what to prepare for as far as fans? Like, I'm talking about the Seattle fans. Like, what have they shown you over this time as far as, like, love for you and stuff like that?
Yeah, they definitely have a lot of love for us, and I think that's something they just want to win so bad. And I think it's going to be really special when we're able to give that to them. Talking to Seager when he was talking about I can't remember, it was in the mid 2010s when they ended up missing the playoffs by a game, and just how awesome the fans were during. They're always awesome, but he's like how awesome they were during that specific time, and just how close they were, and the love that they showed them after that. They didn't quite make it, but it's just a city that wants to win so bad. And you see with the Seahawks, how much love they give them and everything, and obviously they're very successful over there. But that's something we want to do too, and help give them something they deserve, and that's making it to the playoffs, making it to the World Series, winning a championship, and hopefully we can be a part of that here soon.
Yeah, you talk about that. You're with a really young but like really exciting core over there in Seattle. All you guys started kind of coming up together. What's it like knowing, obviously, you signed a big contract in the offseason, that first big league contract, but you're going to be there for a while. You're going to be in Seattle. You're going to get to see this through with this core that's coming through. What's that like, kind of knowing that this group of guys that you're going up with right now, like these are the guys. These are the guys you guys are going to do it.
Yeah, it's really exciting, man. We I continue to harp on is the relationships we've built on and off the field, and I think that's really what's going to make it even more special, not only for the fans of Seattle, but just for us, and be able to see kind of how each of us, grown throughout the years, and how we've helped each other mature, in all facets of life, not just on the baseball field, but outside of it. And it's just really exciting to be a part of, and I'm very blessed and very fortunate to be a part of the organization, to have met the people I've met along the way.
I want to backtrack a little bit. You got to play for the USA national team. What was that, just seeing kind of the country and playing ball like that in that realm with that grade of players and just the whole aspect of it?
It was awesome. Again, it's something where you're playing against these guys year in and year out, and you're finally able to be on the same team and kind of build those relationships and stuff like that. So, guys from Vanderbilt, guys from North Carolina, all over the country we got to play with. And it was really cool, man, because I've never been out of the country until this point. And so we got to go from LA to Taiwan to Japan to Cuba. And I was never a big fish eater at all. I'm still not huge into it. Just, being in Ohio, being in Arizona, you're kind of landlocked, not super close to water. Up in Seattle, just the food's great up there, but that's kind of, I got distracted thinking about food. But, to be able to see the different cultures and try different things was really special. Obviously playing baseball while doing it was incredible, and very thankful for that experience, and, still have friendships from that.
So I love that answer. So when Evan White isn't playing baseball, what is he doing? To get off the baseball subject a little bit, what do you do in your free time?
My wife and I in the off season, we golf a lot. Like I said, we're out in here in Arizona now, and it was funny. We were on the course today, and my mom FaceTimed me, and they're plowing snow back home. It's 30 degrees and stuff. Everyone's all bundled up, and it was it was low 60s today, but just really sunny, nice day. So we like golfing a lot. We just got our backyard redone, so we like to have fires and stuff at night, and we got a little putting green out there, and that putting green really let me down today because my putting was absolutely atrocious. But
mine too.
Yeah. So just simple stuff like that, though. I mean, we don't do anything too crazy. Just especially with COVID and stuff going on right now, we try to stay low key and everything like that. But something I've also been doing, it's kind of been cool to be a part of, is I've met some guys that do Bible study, and we get together once a week via Zoom, which I never knew what Zoom was until all this stuff going on. That takes up a lot of our time as well. So it's been fun to be a part of.
No, that's awesome. We'll get into that. You're doing a Bible study. Obviously, faith, something huge, important to you. Talk about that, how it translates, daily life a little bit with the Bible study. But, are there opportunities to do that? Do you do some of that stuff with guys during the season as well that are on the team?
Yeah, definitely. And it goes back to that 2017 year and meeting Aaron Hogue and the change in the coaching staff. Aaron is our FCA leader at Kentucky. He's still there. And our coaching staff, they kind of brought him, put him in front of us, and got to build a relationship with him. And it was something, again, I was very fortunate to be born into the family I was born in. They're believers, Christian household and everything like that. But I never really truly pursued the relationship with Jesus until I got to Kentucky, met Aaron in that junior year. And, I've been very fortunate to meet the people I have to help me kind of in that walk since then, and in the minor leagues and with the Mariners and stuff like that. But we definitely do try to get together, during the year to, once a week to do a Bible study. It was a little challenging this year. Like you were kind of talking about the sprint and, not really trying to be able to be too close together. But it's something we definitely want to do in the future as well. But it was really cool in the quarantine. The first time we had something like this with the app is called UPI Grow. And one of the guys that's a part of that app he leads the Bible study for us, and he does a heck of a job, man. We got a group that gets together now. So not only that, but then there's another one once a week that we're doing. Justin Dunn, his girlfriend and my wife, we get together and kind of go through a book that Pastor Mike Todd wrote, and he's a pastor at Tulsa, Oklahoma, and it's very entertaining. He's fun to listen to, and he does a great job. So, like you said, that's a big part of our lives, and very thankful for the people that have kind of helped us along in our walks.
That's good stuff, for sure.
Awesome.
I wanted to ask you about, so you're a Blue Jackets fan, you said. You're a Kentucky fan. You're a huge Buckeye football fan, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have an NFL team?
I do. The Cincinnati Bengals. And it's you being a Bears fan, I know you struggle as well. So it's definitely always sunshine, but gotta be loyal to him.
So is Joe Burrow the guy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Were you a little crushed when he went down, or was it more like he'll be back?
A little bit of both. Obviously, you always feel bad for guys like that, and I mean he's done a great job this year. And I think the Bengals, I think they're fairly close. I don't get to see a ton of their games being out here, but from everything I've heard, it's they got some weapons and stuff like that. They just need to protect Burrow, but I think he does a heck of a job. I mean, he's a competitor. He wants to win, and I think that's kind of what separates him from a lot of people, is just that pure desire to win and help the guys around him. But I think he's going to be back. I'm excited to see kind of how he's able to transform that organization.
Nate?
Yeah. No, the other thing I was going to ask, kind of circling back to, living in Arizona, been down there doing some baseball things in the past myself. Everything's so close to each other. down there, from, Camelback Ranch being close to Sloan Park, everything's right there. Is it nice in the off season being so close to the Mariners facility, being able to get in there, when you can, maybe not in an off season like this, where there's probably a little more, hoops to jump through to get in when you want to get in there. But is that going to be nice in the future, being so close to be able to use those resources?
Absolutely. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why we moved out here, is to have those resources. And I'm not saying there's not in Columbus, because I have some buddies that are back there that are able to get a lot of great work in and stuff. But just from, kind of where our families live back there, it didn't make the most sense for us. And we had the opportunity to be out here and be close to the facility, like you said. And there's people there right now, and we're able to get in. And it's like a small group of us, which is awesome. We get to use a gym. Get to be in the cage and stuff like that. And it's cool because, we're all working towards the same thing. Mm-hmm. You go back home and you're with other buddies that are in the pros or big leagues, whatever it is. And they're all on different teams, so for us to be on the same team and kind of be able to push each other in that way and really want to do something special for Seattle is really cool to be part of.
Yeah, it's cool, Evan, because when I was at ODU, it's obviously where I met you. You're such a down-to-earth guy, and like whoever's willing to talk to you, or you're always willing to talk to people, and especially those guys over there. Talk a little bit about, like, as far as when you got this persona, when you got big, when you got drafted, like all the people that hit you up that you haven't heard from in years or stuff like that. Like, how do you handle all that?
That's a good question, and I think it kind of goes back to the person you are, like from just really truly who you are. And you obviously got to be nice to people and stuff like that. There are people that are kind of going to ask inappropriate questions from time to time and stuff like that. And it kind of just comes with it. But again, the way I was raised and with my faith and stuff like that, it's like you got to treat people with respect. You got to show love. But there's also boundaries and stuff too. I mean, it hasn't been anything too crazy, but who knows what will happen in the future. But, kind of at the end of the day, just show respect. Even if you have to respectfully kind of decline a request, whatever it is, you kind of got to do what you got to do sometimes. But I don't know. That's kind of the best I got for you.
No, that it makes a lot of sense. And I'm sure it can be weird. And I can speak for probably a lot of, kids out there, because I was that kid someday. You grow up and you start to meet people that play the game at the professional level. You understand that, you're not, maybe you decline an autograph, something like that. You're not doing that because, you don't want to talk to somebody, but you got other things going on. And so just hearing Mike talk about your experience at ODU, it sounds like that is important to you, that when you do have the time, giving it to those people that do want to learn, that do want to just catch up, things like that. And I think that's really cool that you do that, because not everybody does that. And so the fact that you take that time out of a busy day to do those things, it's pretty cool.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, the reason I asked that is because we played with a guy named Mike Brasso who plays for the Tampa Bay Rays, and he's going to be on the podcast soon. But when he hit that home run to beat the Yankees to go to the AL, what was it, Nate? It was the AL championship?
Yeah, the
ALCS. It was the ALCS and when he hit that, I just, in my head, I'm like, damn, there's probably so many people that are hitting him up that have just never talked to him before. And I mean, it's got to be something it's crazy. That's why I asked that question.
For sure. Makes sense.
Yeah. Rounding it out here, getting close to the end, Evan, I got to ask, this probably is going to air after we find out if Ohio State makes college football playoff. But I need you to give your best sales pitch right now of why the Buckeyes belong at that 4 spot.
Yeah, that's a great question. I probably should ask my wife, and like I said, I'm a Buckeye fan, but she's definitely a bigger Buckeye fan than me. But I think, it's a tough year, man. The Big Ten kind of put them in a tough situation by kind of not allowing them to schedule their games and starting behind the 8 ball and stuff, being late. But that offense is real. Justin Fields, Olave, Wilson, the running backs have been great too. People harped on them early on for not having a great running game, and I think they definitely stepped up. And it's been interesting to see how the defense has grown. Obviously, playing against Michigan State, not the biggest challenge compared to Indiana. But I think it's funny how people penalize Ohio State for losing to Indiana when Indiana was like, that's a real football team. Like, Penix, before he got hurt, obviously, wish him speedy recovery and everything. But he's a real deal. The receivers do a great job, and it's just kind of funny how they get punished for a top 10 loss. There's a lot of great teams out there, though. Obviously, the top 4, I think, is where it should be at. But it's going to be interesting to see this weekend, man. What happens if Florida beats Bama? What happens if, Clemson and Notre Dame. You know, if Clemson wins that game, that one's going to be interesting. So,
this is the one I want to see, Evan. I want to see Ohio State, Notre Dame.
I would love that.
I'm a huge Notre Dame fan, and this is the season, I feel like. But in the past, it's been – I mean, they've been the what should have been because they always lose to the big team. But, I mean, because I don't know if you remember Nick Parr, but I live with Nick Parr he's from Olentangy, and I live with another teammate of mine from Westerville. So I kind of really want to see that and watch them with those guys.
That'd be fun for sure. That's Notre Dame's real, man. They, you know, like you said, in years past, it's like I'm waiting for them to fall off, but they've been fun to watch this year. And I don't know, man. You know, if Notre Dame beats Clemson, I would love that just because Clemson, Ohio State, you know, Clemson's got the upper hand there, and they talk a lot of trash about it. So we shall see, though. It'll be fun.
Yeah. Gearing back as we finish up, Evan, back to the baseball conversation, obviously a little bit of uncertainty what comes next when you guys start things like that. But, you know, what should Evan White fans get excited about this year, your growth? Obviously, you talked about the mental game. What should Evan White fans, what should Mariners fans get excited about this year?
You know, I think it's going to be a fun year for us. We've grown a lot on and off the field, and obviously we were able to play some meaningful games at the end of September last year, and I think that was a great experience for us. Kind of get that under our belt, and I think it's something we're going to be able to build off of. But, you know, for me personally, I think I'm going to be able to be in the best spot mentally and physically as possible. You know, truly allow my best self to come out on the baseball field, and that's something I felt like I didn't do a whole lot of, you know, especially from the offensive side this past year. So be able to do that, you know, for hopefully 162 is my plan, and you know, we got to prepare for that because, you know, we can't control what's going to happen with everything going on and with coronavirus and everything like that. So prepare for 162. And we're going to get everything we got, and you know, it should be a fun year.
All right, Evan, really appreciate it, man. Hopefully we'll have you on when you make the playoffs next year. That'd be cool. Recurring guest. Yeah, but like I said, thank you very much. Please like, subscribe. Like I said in the beginning, hit the notification bell on YouTube. Please follow us on all platforms at FanNoiseSports. Yeah, that's Nate. You want to sign us off?
Yeah, no, Evan, we appreciate you coming on. We appreciate you taking some time on your Wednesday night to hang out with us a little bit. Just, you know, a couple of guys that are having fun talking sports over Zoom calls. So, you know, we appreciate you taking some time and coming on. Hope you had a good time. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, definitely. Really enjoyed it. And I appreciate you guys having me on. You guys definitely threw some good questions at me. So I enjoyed it. And you know, thank you guys. And wish you the best. Wish you the best. Absolutely. Thank you. All right, FanNoise out.